So you bring up a huge topic I wanted to talk about today that makes me very, very angry about this whole situation is the whole idea of the celebrity in voice acting. So we have both sides of the spectrum just in this movie in general, because we have Jack Black that takes this seriously, takes the craft of voice acting seriously, and actually works for it. I am totally okay with any celebrity wanting to do that. It's when you get Chris Pratt or Seth Rogen in there who are like, no, I'm just gonna talk. You're taking away the livelihood of actual voice actors who, just as you built your career, have spent forever building their careers to be recognizable characters and recognizable voices. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of It Takes Two. I'm Emily.
And I'm Quinlan.
And today we have a very special movie review for you guys. If you watched our vlog, we've been hinting at this. And if you watched any of our other episodes, you already know we love this subject matter.
So
of course, we had to review the Super Mario movie.
You don't see many video game to movie TV show adaptations. It's just not a big genre of, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Until now.
Yeah. Like, movie to book, very common. Or book to movie, that's what I mean. You don't see very many video game to, film. And so this is pretty exciting, especially because, like, I know, totally off topic, but, like, The Last of Us is so popular right now. Like, so to get two video game, like, really big video games right into movies and TV shows, super exciting.
I love it on one hand, but I do have some big problems with it.
Oh, yeah, okay, like, if we're gonna start there, we'll start there. Like, all our overall experience was good, great. Loved the idea. There was some things in the execution where I was just like, really? Like, I just kind of felt sad that we didn't get as much as I thought we were getting, I guess.
Yeah, they both built, like, this huge backstory and also gave us nothing at the same time.
Nothing literally at the same time. Like, we got all this extra stuff, but then, like, so little of the OG stuff that I was, like, expecting.
Obviously, I'm a super nerd, and I've been watching all of the game theory, like, Super Nintendo character things, like, forever. And it's just, like, as far as I know, I don't think it's canon that they're, like, from Brooklyn.
No, and I think, okay, so that was another point that me and Pacey made when we were talking about it afterwards. I get the whole, like, accent explaining away, like, why they don't talk like Mario. You know, like, what you think of when you think of Mario's voice.
Yeah.
And I was like, was that just, like, a cover-up?
Yes.
Or was that, like, because, like, Chris Pratt, Seth Rogen, they're not voice actors, and they said flat out, like, I'm just gonna use my voice. And I'm like, that's not what voice acting is. Like, we love this character, why are you not talking like them?
So you bring up a huge topic I wanted to talk about today that makes me very, very angry about this whole situation is the whole idea of the celebrity in voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
So we have both sides of the spectrum just in this movie in general, because we have Jack Black that takes this seriously, takes the craft of voice acting seriously, and actually works for it. I am totally okay with any celebrity wanting to do that. It's when you get Chris Pratt or Seth Rogen in there who are like, no, I'm just gonna talk. You're taking away the livelihood of actual voice actors who, just as you built your career, have spent forever building their careers to be recognizable characters and recognizable voices. They did not even ask the original voice of Mario if he wanted to be a part of this.
I thought he was, though. I thought he was the Giuseppe guy in the restaurant in the beginning.
Because I saw something that said he wasn't even in it, or maybe it's he wasn't asked to be Mario.
I think that might have, because he was, I did see something that he was in it. He had the like one line in the very beginning.
I feel like they had to do that so people wouldn't be as mad that they didn't ask him to
No,
be
for
Mario,
sure.
and it just makes me
Because
so upset.
no, it really does. And so that was like my first instant thought when they were like, are the accents really necessary? Because like they watched the commercial. It's like the first 5 seconds. You get to hear Mario being Mario and Luigi being Luigi, and then they're like, ah, we just thought it was good for marketing, like. And so I was like, was that just a lazy way of like explaining away their like accents, or
I feel
was
like,
like,
on one hand, I feel like it's them lazily explaining it away, but I feel like it's also, like, discounting the whole culture of, like, Italian Americans,
yeah,
of, like,
because their parents had some pretty strong like Italian accents, but you could still hear the Brooklyn accent like
yeah,
meshed. And I'm like, why did we not get a Mario and Luigi that were doing that? They
it
didn't have to be full blown, it's me about the whole time,
no,
But I wanted more.
they could've done that to then minimize their accents, but it's the
Hmm.
fact that they took them away completely.
Completely.
It makes no sense because, like, even in my family in, like, Chicago and stuff, you can hear
Hmm.
the Italian accent mixed with the Chicago, and it's just there.
Yeah.
What? What was it? Made me so mad.
Yeah, the voice acting thing, there were some people that did good, great, Jack Black, as we mentioned. What's the other guy's name? Keegan-Michael, what?
Keegan it's either Keegan-Michael Key or Keegan-Michael Keaton.
He gave Toad like a good voice. You wouldn't have noticed that that was him. And voice acting, you don't have to get rid of your voice. Like you could
No.
tell it was Jack Black, but you could tell he was putting on a voice.
Yeah.
And so yeah, the whole voice acting thing was a little strange for sure.
And I feel like there's some times you can get away with it. Like
Hmm.
Anya Taylor-Joy,
Yeah,
her voice is good enough for Peach for me. Granted, I would have
yeah,
preferred maybe a voice actor, but if she wanted to dabble in it and try it, she wasn't trying to make a character. It's Peach. She sounded good enough as a Peach.
yeah.
They didn't make her
There's,
sound
I mean,
ditzy.
Peach
Like,
doesn't have
yeah.
like that many lines to go off of in general. Like, so she did good. I mean, giving a voice to Peach, yeah. But then there was, yeah, just like the whole um when they didn't even try to disguise their voices was making me a little upset because I was like, I really wanted to see Mario and Luigi just full blown.
Literally, they only put them in there to get seats filled. And, like, I feel like they did it in such a worse way than Disney did to, like, Robin Williams. Because Robin Williams was like, I don't want to be in the marketing for this. Like, I just want to be Genie and just put a little stamp on the craft. And then, no, they put him in all the marketing. And that's why he's not in the other two Aladdin movies.
They doesn't want to outshine everybody. Yeah, and so I don't know. I Jack Black performed. That was show of a lifetime for him for sure. Everybody else, like not everybody else, but a couple other people were just kind of meh. Could have found somebody better for sure, but
Okay, here's my thing though. The song. The song.
oh my god, literally the performance of a lifetime. Okay,
It was so random though, and it didn't give Bowser for me. It gave Jack Black.
it did, but I think it was so necessary because what like they had to put something in there to make Bowser obsessed with Peach. Like
Yeah.
he was in love with her, so he wanted to, sing her a ballad, I
It's the
guess.
fact that they gave us so many more backstories that, like, did we need it? I don't know. What would this movie have been if he was just trying to catch Peach? I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. They put so much emphasis on the randomest things. Like, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was funny, and maybe that's why Bowser's been trying to capture Peach this whole time, because he loves her, but, who knows. But I just thought it was absolutely hilarious. Was it necessarily needed? No. You didn't need that. But one thing about Jack Black is he's gonna put his whole heart and soul into in a song in a movie. Like, you think of like Tenacious D, School of Rock, like he is, when he sings, it's perfection. So
But what really kills me is the interviews he's done for the press.
yes. And he's always dressed as Bowser, and I'm like, this man took his role so seriously.
He's an animated
Like,
method actor.
he took it so seriously.
He never answers the questions. He's just
No.
Bowser.
He's like, dude, like, I don't have time for this, okay? Like, I got an army of Koopa Troopas waiting outside, like, don't talk to me.
Okay, but I did love how they really covered the spectrum of like Bowser's minions and the Koopas and the
The
little
Shy
wizard guy,
Guys,
the Shy Guys.
and Dry Bones, and,
Dry Bones was
they,
violent. I wasn't
oh, he
prepared
was
for that.
spooky. He was spooky, spooky.
King Boo?
King Boo made an appearance. Um, One thing that made an appearance would be Yoshi. How sad was that?
And the fact that they cameoed a pink Yoshi, I was like, okay, I'm fine. If it's pink, it's fine. Just follow them.
Yeah,
Follow. And then,
let me see a little more.
or I was expecting when we got to the wedding and you see the little egg sitting on the table, I was like, somebody gonna throw the Yoshi egg? We gonna get a little Yoshi pop
Get a
out?
little something there.
No.
It felt like we just didn't get enough, like, actual gameplay. You know what I'm saying? Like, things that we would actually see in the game. Like, obviously the power ups, and they had the obstacle course, but I felt like we should have seen some more of that.
It's the fact that they showed us as much as they did that makes us want more. Because they made it realistic in the Mario world that this is just how people move and travel and like fight and stuff. And then they just like ignored it after that.
And so, like, yeah, Yoshi would be a part of that. Like, I would just, we see more Yoshis, like, we would see more, like, Princess, like, Daisy, like, Rosalina, like, some other people.
Well, because didn't it
I
have
thought it was kind
Rosalina's
of
star?
crazy.
Or one of her like star buddies? In the
Was that what
cage.
that little,
I think
that what that
so.
little depressing thing was?
I think so. So I kept waiting for like Rosalina to show up or something.
Yeah. I just felt like we could have seen more. Who knows if they'll make, like, more another one, New Super Mario's Bros. Like, 2? Like, who knows? But I just felt like we were missing some, like, more characters that I would have liked to see.
For real.
Toadette.
Where's Toadette?
Like, we had millions of Toads
And no Toadette.
and no Toadette.
Toadette
I
would
was
have been
pretty
leading that council.
Oh, she would have. And I'm like, where was she? Why was she not involved? So I feel like they were missing a lot of, like, key people, like, or key, like, I like how we got to do Mario Kart for a second. I thought that was cool.
Okay, but why does Donkey Kong run Mario Kart?
I don't know, dude.
Why did the monkeys make the
Why
cart?
was that, like, the parrot, like, that's where they took? I don't know.
I mean, I do
really
love
don't
Donkey
get it.
Kong Jungle, like the course.
That was cool.
Yeah. But like, why do you
But
exclusively own the carts?
yeah, like, why are they what is connected to the Mario Kart? The whole making the carts was kind of cool, but it gave me very much, like, Wreck-It Ralph vibes, like, how they, like, were building a cart, and so I'm like, this has been done before, why are we not getting something new? But
Or like OG Mario Kart, you didn't get to customize like that. They could have just hopped in some carts, given them a paint job, or been like that one, and then they like spray paint it or something.
something, yeah, like that, because, like, it was funny because what Peach drove is, like, literally what I drive every single time
Me
I play
too.
Mario Kart. I'm literally Peach on that bike, okay?
Or
So,
I'm
like,
Daisy if she's Peach.
So it totally like made sense, and like Mario on his Mario Kart. But yeah, like I think they should have just had some pre-made like carts where they gave them a custom paint job, because it just made more sense that way. You know?
Yeah, it was so much.
It was. It really, yeah.
And like of all the things, they would have had the most background on the like Donkey Kong land because I feel like the Diddy Kong and Donkey Kong games like expand
Yeah.
way more on the lore than any of the other places. But
And
we
then
got
the
the
barrels.
least. The
Like,
least.
and just yeah, the whole keep throwing the barrels at Mar, like that, it's all so much, yeah, like centered around Donkey Kong in that moment, and like we spent so much time there and not really any time developing anywhere else.
And it was so weird that the final battle was in Brooklyn.
It was so strange. They just destroy. How do they get back?
Exactly.
They're
They
just
put a
stuck in
whole
Brooklyn.
planet in Brooklyn. Oh, they literally took all of Bowser's castle and just like threw it into Brooklyn.
It really, we're given so many spoilers of this, but
It's Mario. You
it's
probably
Mario.
already know what the plot is.
Yeah. One thing at the end that really got me was um the mini mushroom that they gave Bowser and made him mini.
Yeah.
And they're like, if you get hit, you grow. I'm like, why did Bowser not just like
Punch himself.
smash his head on the piano and boom, Bowsered out, Like there was, he could have escaped. Maybe he was just sad, so he played his piano again. I don't know, but
It was the closest he could be to Peach.
so he was like, I'll be held captive.
Also, the music.
Hmm.
It was both Mario, but also like weird throwbacks.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I was like, dude, I don't remember any songs. But no, I think it was like, yeah, weird Mario, like
Because it wasn't like
remixes
full on.
almost.
Yeah, it wasn't full
No,
Mario.
it was like they would play it slightly off key
It was
from
just
what
the
you're
weird
used to
throwbacks
hearing.
at like weird times for me. Like the montage sequences just being to like old rock music.
There was some weird stuff going on. Just all around weird.
We
And
also just
then,
had an entire row of children behind us, and they
oh,
talked the entire time. They were like, Mario wouldn't do that.
okay, I booked our tickets. We were the only ones that had booked tickets for this theater. I booked them, and I booked them like a couple hours before we went.
Mm-hmm.
By the time we got there's people sitting in the seats right next to us, so we had to sit squished between a whole bunch of people. I was like, why did all these people choose to sit next to us? Like, out of all this space they had. And so then we were squished, and then there was, yeah, I haven't been to a kids movie in a long time. So it was just so many kids, and it was annoying. I figured with it being an 8 o'clock movie that we went to, there wouldn't be as many children.
And you went on a Monday, didn't you?
And I went on a Monday. So I was like, Monday night, 8 o'clock, can't be that many kids in there, right?
Can't
Like,
we?
they got school tomorrow. But no, it was full of children.
We went on a Saturday afternoon. I didn't book the tickets this time. We'll never let him live that one down.
Yeah, that's
Second row. Second row.
to the front.
Yeah.
No.
Thankfully, they were
No.
recliners, but it
Okay.
didn't recline enough.
No,
My
not with
neck
how
hurt
close you're.
so bad. I was like, we could have just picked a different showing.
Yeah, I could have went later, earlier, something.
No, we were like this the whole time, and it was my entire peripheral vision.
Oh,
I
I
refuse
hate
to go
that.
down the stairs when you see a movie, but we did.
Yeah,
We get
that's
there, and I'm like, oh, what seats do we have? It's like the second row, and I'm like, you're kidding.
why. That is so funny. We always sit in the row right behind the handicap, like the accessible ADA seating,
Hmm.
so that there's that like level bar, and I stick my feet in the bar. I always sit right there.
I get that. I almost exclusively go to the theaters with recliners
Mm.
because while I was home for the holidays, they like renovated like 4 of our theaters, and so they now all have recliners.
We just go to a regular one. I used to go to the recliner one all the time, but it's too far now, so we never go there anymore.
I'm winning. I've seen Dungeons and Dragons twice now, and both in recliners.
Dude, that is so cool. Who'd you go with? Did you go with someone the second time, or did you go by yourself?
No, I took Jacob because when I was talking about it, he was like, "Actually, that does sound cool," and I was like, "I'll go see it again." It was
Yeah,
so
no, for
good.
real. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm calling it right now. Dungeons and Dragons is probably gonna be in my top 5 for the year. Like,
Why didn't we do that last year? Why didn't we have a movie wrapped last year?
I don't know. This year we'll have to, or maybe like mid whatever.
We'll have to
Like,
do a movie wrap, and then I feel like we should also do honorable mentions for movies last year because last year I I watched the Oscars this year and I was a little upset about like how that turned out.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, we'll definitely have to do some more
We should
movie
do our
wraps and
own
stuff.
award show.
Award show? Okay. That would be cool.
Yep, I'm like we're gonna have best soundtrack, best costume design, best. Oh yeah, if you can't tell, I
Doing it.
work here in this industry. Um,
Love it.
so I actually did like this in total. It wasn't. It was like good. I have a lot of problems with what they did and what they expanded
Yeah.
on that I feel like could have been better. But I did hear hintings. It also just might be TikTok theories of Luigi's Mansion, which could be
Oh.
sick because it would take place in the Darklands. I don't know if that's a real thing, but I'm gonna really hope it is because I would see that.
Overall, I mean, we kind of just picked it apart a lot, but it was it was a movie. It was I mean, it was good. It's not something you get to see ever, you know. There's not very many video game adaptations. And also with how large Mario is, like you couldn't expect them to fit all of that in there without making a 2+ hour movie, you know? So I was kind of thankful that it was also only an hour and a half, which made it nice. Like
For
I felt
real.
it felt manageable for sure. But yeah, I mean, it was a good movie. I liked it. I would I would be I mean, if there was a second one, Luigi's Mansion or whatnot, I would see it. I would see it, you know? So I guess that kind of tells you that it was good enough that I'll see another one.
We watched it. We mostly enjoyed it, but you're also messing with our childhood, so we have some thoughts.
So we would like to argue about a few things,
So
but
we have some opinions for you, but it's fine, and we'll move on from that. You've heard what we have to say.
yeah, literally that's it. That sums it up.
Well, I'm gonna go find my old SNES, and we'll see what's on there still.
Okay. I might go play some um New Super Mario on my Switch because I don't play that enough.
I want to Switch so I can play it with you, but I don't have one yet. We'll see if we ever get there.
We'll see.
And with that, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace out, Cub Scout.